is Dean Chapman.
And I'm Livy Lewis.
And welcome to the Crow's Nest. So we're going to start off this podcast by introducing ourselves. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, that's fine. So, I'm Livy Lewis. I go by she, her, and I'm a senior this year. And my favorite animal is a giraffe.
Nice.
Yeah, I probably like a giraffe or an owl, or I'm trying to think of like a marine one. An octopus. Oh, I like octopi.
Yeah. My name is Dean Chapman. I go by they, them, and I'm also a senior at St. Charles High. And my favorite animal is the sea slug.
Is it big or little?
They're little. They're like
little snails?
Yeah, they're kind of like Pop-Tart size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember
they're cute.
Someone said that that really ugly fish was their favorite.
Blobfish?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's wrong with you?
Don't be judgmental.
Okay, okay, you're right. They're just ugly.
Yeah, but that's like the point. That's like so ugly it's cute. So ugly you want to save them,
but
give them a little makeover, put some blush on.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just would never want to do that with that type of animal.
I mean, hey, to each their own. So this podcast is going to be about the high school experience and the roller coaster of emotions that comes with high school.
Yeah, we wanna kind of do everything, right? So we just want to talk about mental stability, classes, going through high school. It's 4 years, it's long.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we went to a school that was this long was elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird to think about. And so being around different cliques, different groups of people, it's so diverse, and I think that, I don't know, I just feel like high school is something that nobody ever really forgets.
Yeah, and facilitating a conversation is definitely super duper important, because sometimes it can feel really, really lonely.
For sure. Last year was my hardest year. It was my junior year. And that was so awful. And I just look at now, I'm excited to go to school. I enjoy it because I made so many different changes. I enjoy my classes. I, talk to people on a regular, even if I don't see them outside of school. It's just little changes that I feel like we can talk about in this podcast that would help so many other people with the same exact things.
I totally agree. And it's really important to note that we are not therapists or doctors or anything. We're just average students that want to have a conversation. So although we're going to be talking about sensitive topics in terms of mental health and things like bullying or harassment, we don't know everything. And if you do, our listeners out here, need help or need someone who is professional to be able to reach out, not necessarily to us, but to someone who will be able to help you. So that's very important to note.
I think that for me and you, I think that we also should try and remind the people listening that please be considerate of us, because we are talking about really personal things. This isn't something that I have told everyone that's in my life. And so it's just if we're talking about something that's so personal or sensitive, it needs to be a non-judgment type of thing.
100%.
Which I think with us it is, but I don't want people hating on us. This isn't the point of it. It's we are just, if you don't want to listen to it, then just don't listen. It's that simple.
It's a two-way street.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know for both of us, it's we want to help people. We're not trying to get attention or do whatever somebody else is implying. It's more just hey, this is how we coped through this. Maybe it would work for you.
Mm-hmm.
we are struggling too, we see you, like, you're not alone.
Exactly.
I don't want it to be something where, like, people see it as stupid or, you know, whatever, but it's our experiences that we're talking about, but everyone can relate to it.
Yeah. And I think that everybody should be able to take things with a grain of salt and also kind of pick and choose, because you pick and choose what you relate to. And so you might not, you know, relate to the whole experience, but if you really hear something that like pulls at your heartstrings or really makes you think, take that and run with it. If it helps you like get to a better place in your life or like realize something about how you feel about a subject, then that's good. And I think having that journey of understanding is like really important with maturity, because maturity is a huge thing in high school. Now that I'm a senior and I interact with freshmen, the disparity between the two is absolutely insane. And I'm thinking about how much different things were in middle school compared to now. And I have so many experiences that whenever I deal with drama or I come in contact with drama, I'm like, oh, I already been through this like 5 different times.
Yeah.
Here's my game plan. And not everybody has that. So it's literally just us giving a toolkit to listeners, and they can pick and choose what tools that they want out of that.
Yeah. I think when I was a freshman, I like knew almost, I mean, I didn't know everyone in school, but like I recognized everyone. I didn't see anyone new. And that was like for the first 2 years of high school, that's how I felt. And then once I became an upperclassman, I was like, who is that?
Yeah, it's isolating.
Who is that? Who is that? And like today, every single day, I see at least one person I've never seen before. And our school isn't big. Like we have, what, 800 kids maybe? Like our school isn't big, but like being older, and then I think of also like the classes, like it's not as diverse of grades. And so it definitely like, it makes sense to me why like seniors would bully the other grades.
Yeah.
Not like bully, but
yeah, it's like a weird hierarchy that's been like perpetuated for a long, long time. And although I think that seniors in some aspects should have a bit more leverage over others in terms of like, you know, like we have harder classes or we have classes that we can only take. That makes sense. Other things that seniors do that I do not agree with, like that only kind of separates us even more. And I think especially when you're a senior, you're wanting to make your year as easy as possible because you're tired. It's a long process. And that means electives, and that means interacting with those underclassmen. And so navigating that on top of dealing with your own personal emotions and that difference in maturity is also very, very important. I've definitely had to learn about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think about when I was a freshman in like our grade, and I feel like we were just even then way more mature than the kids coming in now. And I don't know if that's just because like, then I think about like social media and like just like growing up kind of in, not in a different generation, but like it's crazy how much a couple of years will do for like how you're growing up as a child. And I think about that and I'm like, so is it like that, or like were we actually this immature? Like I probably, but like to me it was like that was the important stuff. Like the drama was like, oh, now like I don't care. Like I don't care at all. But like just looking back at that, my sister, she's in 8th grade, and like she'll tell me about all the drama. These boys were like being mean to her. She was like upset about it, obviously. But I was like, Violet, obviously they're not your friends, and why do you even care? They don't even know you. Like they don't know you, so it doesn't matter. And like I can see why it's hard for her to understand that. Because if it was happening to me, it would not be that easy for me to like think that. But
sometimes the attacks on the person is actually just a reflection of what they personally feel. And sometimes that feels so annoying to hear, because it's like they're literally attacking me. It hurts me, but you have to kind of separate yourself and be like, you know, maybe they're just projecting, maybe they're just going through something. They can try to hurt me as much as possible, but in the end of the day, they are not me. They're not in this body for life.
Yes.
So, you know, they can do their own thing, and they're gonna have that wake up moment when they realize, like, that
they're gonna change.
Yeah, that they're gonna change, and that what they say to you does not matter.
I think that the reason why high school is so hard and why people struggle so much with others being like mean or whatever, it's like a reflection of them, but it's also because they don't see things as maturely as others do. You can be mature or like older, but that doesn't mean that like your mind is not necessarily mature, but like just wise, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because being able to hold yourself accountable and not overdo your pride or talk about other people, other groups, just like things about yourself, knowing them is so different than not. Like the people that don't are the people that often
struggle.
Not even struggle, but I mean, yeah, but they struggle because they don't self-inflict it, but they almost do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not their fault that they haven't gotten there yet, because I think that everyone has their own like path that they need to find themselves, but you have to understand that everyone's path is different.
Yeah.
And so like them picking on you, it's them trying to figure out their own stuff. It's not about you.
Mm-hmm. They are a product of their own environment. And even if that is themselves putting them in that environment, you know, that still is going to affect them. And that's where being wise and being mature comes in, because it takes that to get you out of that situation and to realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I shouldn't be with this group of people, or maybe I shouldn't go hang out with these people, all that kind of stuff. That takes time to realize, and sometimes you don't, and sometimes you just have these moments where you screw up really, really bad, but in those moments, that's where you have the 5 times that you dealt with drama, so then the next time you see it, you know what to do, or you know what not to do.
Right.
And that is what matters the most.
I agree.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for tuning into the Crow's Nest. We hope you have a terrific day, and as always, go get 'em, Pirates!